You guys need to start ditching your phone or just technology in general. I know it really sucks that I say this, but it's actually the cold hard truth. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm just noticing within myself that I'm become more distracted. I'm not as productive because like there's even studies out there that are done that people that at work, like I think it's like about 30 or 40% of the time they're on their phone instead of actually doing work, or they're checking like emails or just reading up news. They're being unproductive. And I want you guys to realize that all this technology is helping you become less productive and making you more distracted. And it's because there's so many things that are around us that it's distracting you and it's not making you focus. On top of that is you're building up a bad habit because you're not able to retain any information. Because like what I'm realizing is like all these reels on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, they're usually around 8 to 15 seconds. Sometimes there's some of them about 60 seconds, but then what happens? You're like, okay, well, next video. And then your retention span starts going smaller and smaller. You can no longer be focused. You can no longer just prioritize one little subject or whatever it is that you want to get done, and you become a little bit distracted. And the reason I say this is because I noticed it within myself. So I normally have a general rule that whenever I'm making YouTube videos, especially recording them, I don't have my phone on me, or I have my phone on don't disturb. But earlier I was recording, messed up because I ended up having the camera on slow motion, and I did have my phone on me. But usually there's times that I do have it, and sometimes I forget to put it on silent or don't disturb, and there's notifications, and then I just get distracted, and before you know it, you start going down the rabbit hole, and you're like, okay, well, I got something else to entertain my mind. I no longer have to prioritize whatever it is that I've been wanting to do. I also notice this when I play guitar, is that essentially I'll be playing guitar and I'll be watching YouTube videos on, oh, okay, well, this is how you do that, this is how you do this, and then before you know it, a notification pops out, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, what's this notification say? And before you know it, I get distracted and I forget about practicing guitar, and before you know it, a couple minutes pass by. I'm like, okay, well, time to get back into practicing. Which sometimes it's nice to have that little break, just because like I feel like it re-energizes you. But there's other times that you'll just be on your phone or any sort of technology, be like, okay, well, I'm gonna take a 30-minute break. And then you take this 30-minute break. Before you know it, it turns into a 2 to 3 hour break, and you're like, where the heck did all the time go? And you're like, well, you know what? 2-3 hours already passed by anyway, so I might as well continue watching this new TV show or some more videos just for entertainment purposes, and you're wasting your time and you're not being productive. And I watched this YouTube video that it was really helpful, that an hour of just action rather than taking like research or thinking about something, an hour of action is actually way better than just thinking about it or just researching it, because essentially you're taking action, and that action is going to help you in all aspects of your life. And I hope you guys understand this from what I'm kind of learning from like some of these people that are smart in like psychology, or just the way how like the human brain works. From what I've seen is essentially you can train like good habits and bad habits. And what you want to do is get rid of the bad habits. So if you're always looking at notifications on your phone popping up, well, guess what? Anytime there's a notification, you're training yourself to look at those notifications. And what you got to do is train yourself in certain little ways. Like me, like I said, when I record YouTube videos, I'll either put my phone on don't disturb, or I'll leave my phone somewhere else, which currently right now I don't have my phone, so I'm kind of training myself. I can also do it in other various ways. Okay, well, whenever I'm hanging out with somebody, I have my phone turned off, or whatever it is, I have it on silent, or I don't look at my phone, because like you can honestly see today's generation, if they ever go out, they're usually on their phone. They're showing it on social media. If they go out to, like, let's say go eat with some friends, well, guess what? You see them there at the table, every single person is on their phone and they're not interacting with each other. And on top of that, it's just, it doesn't help you. It's some ways it's very beneficial, other ways it's very unbeneficial. It's has its advantages and disadvantages, and what I'm saying is there's more disadvantages than what there are advantages, because like essentially The only reason I really need a phone is if I ever need to make a call, or if somebody ever needs to get a hold of me. That's about it. But what I'm realizing is I'm wasting my time watching content, consuming information, or whatever it is, and before you know it, this starts affecting your mind. This is something that else I learned, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys, is essentially you consume so much information compared to like people back in the day when they would used to read like a newspaper. So like when they would have newspapers, the physical paper copies, what we consume is about like 40 times of that. And it's no wonder why your mind is like all over. You're not able to think clearly, you're not able to respond as quickly, just because you have so much information. Your mind is a little bit tired, it's burnt up, and it just can't think properly, and it's all over. Which I can honestly see that a little bit talking to you guys in this video, the way how my mind is kind of jumping from topic to topic, which I do understand your mind isn't always going to be on one certain little topic, but essentially you're overloading your mind full of information, which isn't the best thing to do. The other thing I want to mention is that you're not enjoying the moment, you're not being present in the moment. And I think this is something that the vast majority of people forget to honestly experience. And like I said earlier, you'll see people hanging out with each other on their phones, or they'll be like in a social environment and they're over here displaying it, showing that they're having a good time, but in all reality they're on their phone the whole time and not even just enjoying it. And I honestly saw this when I went to a concert with my girlfriend. We went to this concert and I was just looking at some of the people that were in front of us, because it was at a football stadium, and essentially people that were like on the grass, they were on their phone. I noticed some of these chicks in particular, like they were there just recording the concert, but they were on their phone the whole time. I'm like, what's the point of the concert to even show up there? Why would you pay money? And then on top of that, you're just on your phone the whole time. Like, how is that fun? Which, I don't know, each their own. I'm just trying to make sense of it, trying to understand. But me, like personally, I would much rather be in the moment, have that memory to myself, than to share it and display it to the whole world, because essentially that memory would mean a whole lot more to me than to have people reacting to it, commenting on it, or just, you know, sharing your post, whatever it is. It's more memorable for me to just experience it, be full present into the moment, and just enjoy it. And me and my girlfriend were talking about this later on, about, I was like, hey, did you see that person? And she was like, yeah. And she was like I understand, like me and you, we would record some of the songs, but then afterwards we would just put it away. And I was like, yeah, like I want to actually enjoy it in person. I want to just be like, you know, alert of it. Of course, I do understand, like, you want your memories and all that, but what overall point, what I'm trying to say is, you're not experiencing life when you're just constantly watching it through your phone, watching it through a computer screen, through a TV. You're just distracting yourself. You're not being present in the moment. How often do you guys just go out there, go out for a walk, or go out for a hike, or just go to like any social settings and just be present in the moment and just pay attention to what's going on around you? Honestly, that's becoming more and more rare. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one.